This is a very bold claim that you can assume that you are the man, the woman, the human that you desire to be. And through your assumption alone, if you persist in that assumption, you will be and become that man, woman, human. All right, welcome back to Daily Neville. I am your host, Josiah Brandt, and this is a show all about making Neville Goddard easy to understand, simplifying the concepts, making them very easily digestible. Today, we are continuing with our exploration of the power of awareness by Neville Goddard, and today we are talking about desire. This is chapter 4 of The Power of Awareness. The changes which take place in your life as a result of your changed concept of yourself always appear to the unenlightened to be the result, not of a change of consciousness, but of chance, outer cause, or coincidence. However, the only fate governing your life is the fate determined by your own concepts, your own assumptions. For an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Okay, the changes which take place in your life. Okay, so as he's been talking about here, he's been talking about how there is no order in nature corresponding to the submission of the self to an ideal beyond the self. Basically, we are creating our ideal. We are creating a concept of ourselves. We are embodying a concept of ourselves, and our world is arranging itself according to the concept of ourselves, right? Now, we talked about this, how consciousness is primordial. Consciousness is the first cause. The whole universe started with consciousness. Consciousness is not something that emerged later on down the line. Consciousness is not a product of evolution, not in the purest sense. Consciousness is fundamental to reality. Before that which the world was, before that which the universe was, I am. Consciousness was, right? So the changes which take place in your life are always going to be related to a change of consciousness, a change of awareness. Now, to people outside of your life, people outside of your inner world, right? People who can't see the state of consciousness, the thoughts associated with that state of consciousness, the animation that's happening in your inner world of awareness according to your consciousness, those people will look at your life and say, oh, that was lucky, that was unlucky, that was by chance. Oh, this person did that, and that's why you got that. Or you got lucky that this happened this way, or you got unlucky that this happened this way, right? So to the unenlightened, they think that it's outer cause. There's a lot of people in this world who are living in a paradigm that says that consciousness is not primordial, consciousness is not fundamental. And there's also a lot of people that have never bothered to ask this question. They've never bothered to think about, where is consciousness in the evolution of the universe, right? Did we start with consciousness in the beginning, or did it emerge out of evolution? What is the role of consciousness? There's a lot of people that haven't stopped to ask that question. That number of people is getting fewer by the day, because by the day, more and more people are asking that question. What is the role of consciousness? Why is consciousness important, right? But Neville's making it very clear here. He says, the only fate governing your life is the fate determined by your own concepts, your own assumptions. And then he drops what goes on to become one of his most famous statements. An assumption, though false, though materially false, if persisted in, will harden into fact, right? An assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. This is a very bold statement. This is a very bold claim that you can assume that you are the man, the woman, the human that you desire to be. And through your assumption alone, if you persist in that assumption, you will be and become that man, woman, human. This is a very bold statement from Neville. And like I said, it's become one of his most famous quotes. The ideal you seek and hope to attain, so the person that you hope or aspire to become, will not manifest itself, right? Hope is a beggar. That's another thing that Neville says. Hope is a beggar. You have to actually be, right? You can't hope for, you must embody, you must be. The ideal you seek and hope to attain will not manifest itself, will not be realized by you until you have imagined that you are already that ideal. You have to imagine that you are already that ideal. It is not, I will become a rich man, right? It is not, I will find something that I'm looking for, right? No, it's, I am a rich or wealthy man, and I have what I'm looking for. You must make there here, and then something you will become later now, right? You have to embody it now. That's the key that unlocks this horizon of your mind, horizon of your awareness, horizon of your consciousness. It's the key to embody it now. He says the ideal you hope to attain will not manifest itself. You will not experience this until you have imagined that you are it already. You are it already. Creation is finished. It's already done. You have to embody it to experience it for yourself. There is no escape for you except by a radical psychological transformation of yourself, except by your assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Whatever you're going through in your life right now that is uncomfortable, there is no escape for you until you embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must imagine that you are already free of whatever it is that torments you. You must already embody that freedom. You must assume the feeling, assume the state of the wish fulfilled. This is the test. This is the key. This is our only job on planet Earth, is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to get really clear on what that wish is, what the state of fulfillment of that wish is, and then to embody it, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Therefore, Neville writes, make results or accomplishments the crucial test of your ability to use your imagination. Everything depends on your attitude towards yourself. Everything depends on your attitude towards yourself. That which you will not affirm as true of yourself can never be realized by you. For that attitude alone is the necessary condition by which you realize your goal, right? So you must affirm as true of yourself already. You must say, that is true of me right now. So this is where we talk about ignoring the evidence of our senses, right? So you could say, well, when I look at my bank account, I don't see wealth, right? It doesn't matter. You have to be wealth. You have to assume the feeling now that you are wealthy, right? And obviously, wealth is a concept that encompasses a lot more than what a bank statement shows, right? So you have to figure out what that state is, and you have to move into that state, occupy that state. You have to become that state. And that attitude, right? The attitude of I am, this is true of me. I am a wealthy man and wealthy woman, a wealthy human. This is true of me, right? That's the claim that you must make as a necessary condition, as a requirement in order to realize your goal. All transformation, Neville writes, is based upon suggestion. And this can work only where you lay yourself completely open to an influence. You must abandon yourself to your ideal as a woman abandons herself to love. For complete abandonment of self to it is the way to union with your ideal. You must surrender to your ideal. You must surrender to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must give up everything. Jump off the cliff. You must completely cut all of your roots, cut loose all of your anchors, and allow yourself just to completely surrender to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, as though you were abandoning yourself to it, abandoning your former self, the former self, which believed it didn't have whatever the desire is that you seek. You must abandon that self completely. You must immerse yourself completely in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled until your assumption has all the sensory vividness of reality. The sensory vividness of reality. This is a radical statement. This is a very bold and radical statement Neville is making here. You must imagine that you are already experiencing what you desire. Right? Use your imagination. It is the creative power of the universe. You have the ability to experience in your imagination anything you desire to experience. And you must do so. You must do so, and not at arm's length, not from a third person perspective. You have to make it first person, present tense. There is here, then is now. I'm experiencing it now. And the whole idea here is you experience it first in your imagination and second in the world of effect, right? First in the world of imagination, the world of cause, and second in the outer world, the world of effect. I am the cause. My imagination is the cause. This out here is the world of effect, okay? Got to get first things first here. You must imagine that you are already experiencing what you desire. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the feeling that your desire has been fulfilled, the feeling of fulfillment of your desire, until you are possessed by it. Possessed by it. This is a radical surrender, a radical transformation. You are possessed by the feeling of fulfillment. And this feeling crowds all other ideas out of your consciousness. There's only one thing that you're aware of in this moment, and that's the fact that your wish is fulfilled. And you are feeling that is true right now in this moment. The man who is not prepared for the conscious plunge into the assumption of the wish fulfilled in the faith that it is the only way to realization of his dream is not yet ready to live consciously by the law of assumption. Although there is no doubt that he does live by the law of assumption unconsciously. Okay? So what Neville is saying here is we're all living by the law of assumption all the time anyways, right? So if we're not willing or ready, if we're not prepared for the conscious plunge into the assumption of the wish fulfilled, in other words, assuming what we do want, then we will continue to be ruled by the assumption of what we do not want. Now, there's no judgment implied here. Some people are ready to take conscious control of the creative power of the universe. Others are not. We're all on our own path. And ultimately, all of us will become ready in due time. For you who accept this principle and are ready to live by consciously assuming that your wish is already fulfilled, the adventure of life begins. To reach a higher level of being, you must assume a higher concept of yourself. What a bold statement. To reach a higher level of being, you must assume a higher concept of yourself. So I ask you right now, viewer, what is the concept of yourself that you are assuming in this moment? In what ways can you raise your concept of yourself to a higher level? This is your task, to raise the concept you are holding of yourself, and not just of yourself, but of all men, women, humans, to a higher level. What is the concept you are holding of Earth in this moment, of all humanity together as one in this moment? And can you raise it to a higher level? If you will not imagine yourself as something other than what you are, then you will remain forever as you are. For if you believe not that I am he, you shall die in your sins. If you do not believe that you are he meaning the person you want to be, you must believe that you are that person already. And if you do not, you will remain as you are. Through the faithful, systematic cultivation of the feeling of the wish fulfilled, desire becomes the promise of its own fulfillment. What a sentence. 3 adjectives: faithful, systematic, cultivation. The faithful, daily, day in, day out, every moment of every day. Systematic. You don't just know what to do, you're doing it, and you're doing it with strategy and tactics. Cultivation, right? You understand that you're a gardener. You're cultivating the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You understand that principle and you're applying it daily. Faithful, systematic cultivation of the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I am already the man I desire to be, the woman I desire to be, the human I desire to be. Whoever I desire to be, I am that person already. And I am faithfully, systematically cultivating that feeling each and every moment of each and every day. This is mastery. And through doing this, desire itself becomes the promise of fulfillment. And what he means by that is, once you've mastered this, the mere awareness of a desire means that it is a prophecy. The desire itself, the feeling of wanting something or desiring something, right, becomes a prophecy that it will be fulfilled because you know how to fulfill your desire. You know how to satisfy that desire. The desire becomes a prophecy or a promise of its own fulfillment. And this is when you rejoice, when you come across a desire, when something happens in your life and you're saying, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be wonderful if, right? And you can immediately rejoice because you know that the mere inkling of a desire is a prophecy of its fulfillment. So instead of saying, wouldn't it be nice? It's, oh, look at what's coming. Look at what has arrived. The assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled makes the future dream a present fact. The assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled makes a future dream a present fact. And that is the power. That is the power. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the power. And your only job as a human in this form, learning to master your creative power in love and in wisdom, right? Imagine wisely. Yes, your only job in this form as a human cultivating your creative power is to learn to clearly identify your desires. You have to see it clearly before you can embody it, and then to embody it by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. What would the feeling be like if I were already the man, the woman, the human that I desire to be? There's a tone, there's a mood. Catch the mood to that. Bring it into your body. How would you hold your body? What is your posture? How do you speak? From where do you speak, right? How do you animate? You're a character, you're playing a part. If you choose a new part to play, your character has to change. Do you change the way you dress? Do you change the way you walk? Do you change the way you speak? Do you change the people you hang out with, right? Do you change the things that you think about, the habitual patterns of your mind, right? Do you change what you do for a living, right? Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled now and become that man, that woman, that human. That is your job. That is your only role as a human creator, is to learn and master the ability to do this. And that is the completion of chapter 4 of The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. This chapter has been titled Desire. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this teaching from The Power of Awareness, I have a prompt for you. In the comments below, I want you to write out one thing, one little tidbit of wisdom that stood out to you from this video. Share it in the comments below. Share it to reinforce it within your own awareness, reinforce it within your own consciousness, as well as the consciousness of the other people who will find and watch this video. And to help them find and watch this video, go ahead and tap that thumbs up button for me and subscribe to this channel if you would like more daily Neville wisdom coming your way very soon. Imagine wisely, my friends, and I'll catch you all in the next. If you are enjoying these teachings and you want to learn more about what I do at the School of Imagination, you can check out my website, schoolofi.org. I also have a Facebook group where I share more about these ideas. That is the Neville Goddard School of Imagination on Facebook. And you can also join my email list where I send out newsletters about breaking news from the world of imagination.